Hello, it's me again with card number 2. This time I'm using, starting with the page in the catalog to show you, I'm going to use Country Flowers, the bundle. And then I used this paper from the designer series, paper or DSP, and I cut the strips out. And those are it's the bundle I'm using for this next card. It's called Country Flowers. I actually love the Country Birdhouse too, and I will be using that in the future for a product-based class that I'm really excited about that I'll be doing for the very first time. And I think it's going to be, you know, some cards, a couple 3D projects, something different. I fell in love with that suite, and I immediately thought of some fun ideas on what to use it for. So this is the next card we're making. It says, best friend ever, so lucky to know you. And you will get in this card, with this card, you'll get everything pre-cut except for the parts that come with the actual die set. So let me show you the stamp set. So here's the stamp set. It is, again, photopolymer. And the only stamp I'm actually using on this card is the sentiment for the inside and the outside and the flowering can. And then here's the die set. And I use the die set to cut out the leaves, the flowers, and that's actually it for this card. But the die set is so cute. I love the flowering pot. I love the stool. It's so cute. It's so cute. I often say I should have been growing up in the country because I love it. My house is yellow and blue, so you can imagine. So I'm going to start with this circle, and you will get this circle in this card kit, or with this card. Like I said, I will cut everything out and provide everything except the parts that come with the actual bundle. So you won't get the flowers or the stamp to stamp this watering can, but everything else you'll get. So let's start with this stamp, and we're going to use Memento ink. Memento Tuxedo Black. And the reason I'm using that is because I'm going to use blends to color it in. And the blends need to be used with Memento so there's no bleeding when you're coloring it. So let's get that stamped. Oh, hope I didn't just put my head into that camera. Let's get that stamped kind of towards the bottom so we'll be able to build up our leaves and flowers onto it. Okay, so we're done with that. Set that aside. And I'm pulling in Misty Moonlight blends. There's always a dark and a light, and the combo pack, you get both of them. Now, let me start off by saying I am not an artist. I am not I don't really know the proper technique to color. What I do is I use the dark to kind of go over where there's lines already provided by the stamp, and then I use the dark for that, and then I come in with the light one and I color the rest. And there's two tips to these blends. There's a paintbrush side, which I'm going to use on this one, and then there's more of that marker pointed side. And you don't need to go too close to the end when you're using the paintbrush side because the ink will nicely blend pretty close to the edge there. I think I'm using light. Yes, I am. Just didn't almost look like the same color there for a minute. And with this one, I'm just going to draw a random little line up here because I'm going to build out the flowers on top. So I don't need to worry too much about what it looks like towards the top. Oops, I just went outside the line. You know what? That is okay. Not every card is perfect. It is handmade with love, right? So let's color it. Probably could have done this before, but kind of wanted to show you guys the blends. What's nice about the blends too is it just provides shading automatically. I mean, I don't have to be a professional to color this in, but the end result is so nice. It looks like I know what I'm doing, and I really don't. So there's our flower pot, or our watering can, I should say. I'm going to set those aside. Now I have already cut out some of these flowers because I didn't want to sit here and roll my machine, my die cut machine, on the table here, but I am going to cut this one out so you can see how the dies work in case you've never seen it before. So we're going to die cut the leaves, and I'm going to go to the floor here because my 6-foot table always runs out of room. I don't know how that happens, but it does. And I'm going to use my mini machine, and we're going to, well, I am, you're not. I'm going to die cut out these leaves for the card. So I'm going to use these mini plates. What's nice about this is it always tells you what the sandwich is. So with the mini die cut machine, plate number 1 goes down, and then plate number 2, you put your piece in, and then you cover it up with a second plate number 2. So let's go plate 1 and 2, put our image. I sometimes use these little Post-it note holders to keep it in place, so I don't have it running off the side or moving on me. And I apologize if I'm about to have a cat come into this video. So with the mini, you want to have the top plate come over just a little bit so the machine catches pretty easily. I find that if it's sandwiched perfectly on top of one another, you know, like it's got a flushed edge, it's kind of hard to run it through. So I always sandwich my top plate slightly over the bottom. And let me actually move this out of the way and get that back on the floor. And move these plates. And then we have, you'll see we have, oh, put that back on the machine because I will use that again. Here are our leaves that we'll be using. All right, set that aside. So now let's move to stamping this sentiment at the bottom. I'm going to bring in Misty Moonlight ink. And I am going to stamp that. Let me put this closer to me. I can't really see without, I need readers. I just need to own it. I need readers. Stamp that towards the bottom and close that up so I don't get anything inside of it. Next, so the DSP paper, as you saw when I showed you the item in the catalog, it has this one sheet that has these strips of different colors. And I loved it. Like, I thought of a wood fence, but painted slats. I don't know. I just loved it. So I'm just going to randomly, like I did here, place them wherever I want in different, you know, left to right, overlap, don't overlap. So I'm just going to flip these over and let's just start. Oops, sorry, I just moved that paper there. Let's just start adding these to the card. And again, I'm using glue because I need wiggle room. Okay, let me get these up. So this one I'm gonna put, well, let's just, you gotta start somewhere, so let's just start here. And this one I'm gonna go a little over, maybe like this. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And let's do these two next. Small strip of glue. I got a new glue bottle because that other one seemed to be running out. Pick up this tiny little one, maybe like that. Oops, did it move? It sure did. There we go. And let's put that one, oh, maybe like that. And we've got 2 pieces left. Now you can see that the paper tends to change shades of color. So this, ironically, is the same strip as this one, but they're a little different. So in the kit you get, you know, your paper might look slightly different than what I'm showing you here. So if you go back and watch the video, just know that it might look a little different, and that's okay. Okay, that one I'm not even going to have overlap at all. Okay, there we go. Now let's build up the flower arrangement on this watering can. And excuse my reach on the camera, I'm going to bring in this silicone craft sheet. What's nice about these is I can put, you know, glue doesn't stick to it, so I can put glue on these pieces and kind of let it sit for a little bit to get tacky, and it won't stick to my surface. You know, if I were to try to put glue on this piece on the paper, it might, you know, bleed through a little bit, because if you can see, these have little slices through the paper. There's some dimensional to them, right? There's some details to them. So I'm sure there might be some glue that goes down. So I'm just going to randomly put some dots. And while I'm here, I'm going to, whoops, that was a big glob. I'm going to put glue on, let's see, I'll put glue on all of these for now, because it'll give it time to get a little tacky. So then when I pick it up, the goos won't be oozing out. I learned this trick from watching a Canadian demonstrator named Rose Coleman. She puts the glue down, and then you can see how it's, you know, if I were to put that down right now, some of this glue might ooze out. And if you let it sit there and get a little tacky, it won't do that. So I loved that tip. This one I think will be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up. And I'm just going to place it, again, no two are going to look the same. So right there looks great to me. And then I'll pick up this large blue one. Actually, I want the small one. I'll pick up this small one. And I'll put it right there. And let's pick up a little, actually I don't want to pick up a little, well, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll pick up this little pool party one. You can see how the glue is still wet. So let's see if it oozes out. And you'll, oh, it didn't. I must not have put too much on there. And then we'll use this little, I do believe I used Petal Pink on this. No, Pretty in Pink. I think that's Pretty in Pink, Misty Moonlight, and Pool Party. Okay, whoops, let's see what I mean. There we go, it's gonna stick, look at that. Okay, I'm gonna pop this piece up with dimensionals because I like some height to my cards. And of course, if you saw video number 1, you know I like to use a lot of dimensionals. This one will probably get 6, because of course you need one in the center. Okay, let's take all those backings off. And sorry about the delay in the videos. I had in my mind I was going to video all this together and post it, but it sure does take a long time to upload a video to Facebook. I had no idea. I've never done this before. So obviously I need to get very comfortable at doing lives, because then I won't have to worry about it. Okay, let's grab this little flower, put it up here. And now you can see what I mean, how it's, I don't know if you can see very well, but it's tacky, right? You don't see a lot of the white from the glue, and it'll stick just fine. I just got stuck to my finger now, but that's okay. It's another way to pick it up. Okay. And now with that, let's move on to stamping the inside. And I think, yep, I left that piece inside the envelope. So I'm going to set the card front to the side, and it's okay if there's still glue on that piece. If it gets too dried, then I'll add a little more glue to it. And I did forget to get that stamp set out, or that sentiment, so let's pull that out. Which is a good thing, because then I can show you how I put these stamps on. So I think you heard me mention before that I glue everything down crooked. Well, I put stamp sets on crooked too, especially if there's words. So I use the grid lines of these paper mats to line up my stamp in hopes that I won't stamp it crooked.